Oh, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. What mic is it connected to?
So you're live on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, but what mic, like, for the settings, what mic do you have it checked?
Oh, yeah, it's not going to the, it's supposed to go to.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check, 1 2 1 2. I'm just gonna keep doing that. But I don't know about you. Mic check. Oh, you're not even seeing the mic?
No, it won't even come up.
You might have to.
So it's in here, but it says device not connected or not available. There we go.
Mic check. Did you do something on your end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Went to the back of the roadcaster.
We went to the back. We went to the back.
So you're good on all three.
We good on all three. What up, everybody? Let me put my phone down. Man, so everything sounds good. I could just start chopping it up.
You can start chopping it up.
All right. Where are we live at?
We on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok.
Okay. Everybody on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, thank you for tuning in. I always appreciate y'all, man. I start every episode with talking about what I'm grateful about or what I'm grateful for. And I had this beautiful thing that I was grateful for this morning, but it's changed. At this moment, I feel extremely grateful for vision. I feel extremely grateful for vision, patience, and understanding. I'm patient. I'm grateful for vision because the more I sit back and the more I listen, the more things are hitting my ears and giving me a clear vision of things. I'm grateful for patience because instead of reacting emotionally, I'm giving myself time to process and take a time out, breathe, and be able to sort out my thoughts and my visions. So that's what I'm most grateful for right this second. And I'm extremely grateful to all of you for tuning in. It means a lot. I hope we continue this interactive conversation. I really want you to ask questions, really tune in with me, interact with me, speak, comment. If you're commenting on Facebook, if you're commenting on YouTube, it will get to me. If you're on TikTok, you're right in front of my face over here, so I'll be able to see what you're saying. Share, like, follow, all that. So as we get going, I want to recap Mondays where we were talking about how people struggle with fearing success, right? And it usually stops them. That fear of being great, that fear of doing something incredible, that fear of just bringing your dream to reality. Because if you do that now, you can't undo that. There comes a responsibility with that ability to do that. It comes with a responsibility when you're shown the light. I like to call it the light. When you are able to see that if you work hard at something and apply all your energy to it, you can help it grow. So planting the seed is the vision you're given. You're given this dream, and you can see it and you can picture it, right? And then you have to water it. That's setting your goals, putting your goals into action. That's if you have to do something different with the soil, if you have to give it some special nutrients, if you have to take off a dead leaf, whatever the case may be, it's the constant process of this plant growing. If you're growing fruits and vegetables, you have to remove the fruits and vegetables when they ripen. So it's a process, and it's the same when you're building something. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and it will cause you stress if you're not living your life in accordance with this. If you build something, you understand that you have the capabilities of building something. So it's going to stress you out if you're not building something, because you know you have the capabilities to do it. If you're just doing something you don't enjoy, but you know you have the capabilities of building something, you're never going to find joy. You're never going to find satisfaction from that. And that's really tough. That's really tough for people. So that's a quick recap of Monday's conversation, or what the topic of it. And some of the suggestions I gave was, you write it out. I'm a big advocate of writing it out. I'm a big advocate of speaking it out loud. I am constantly speaking about it to myself. If other people are there, that's great. But I am constantly speaking I'm putting life into my dreams. And then I just got to work hard at making it happen. And the part that, and at the stage that I'm at right now in my life, is understanding that I don't have to live on the extremes of it. I don't have to just bury myself in it all the time without spending time with my family. I don't have to bury myself in it to the point where I can't think straight. Everything is organized as far as my schedule. Everything has a purpose. And when I'm in it, I'm 100% in it. But when it's time to pull out, right? When it's time to move on to something else, that now has my full attention. And I'm no longer stuck over here. And understanding how to do that has made it very effective for me. So those of you that want to be entrepreneurs, those of you that want to find success, I would suggest some of these routes. I would suggest picturing it in your mind, like literally picture what you want to do. Picture how you want to do it. Picture how it looks like to you, how it smells, what it feels like, whatever. And then write it out. Write out that picture. And then ask yourself, how do I make that happen? So for me, if it's making my podcast grow, right? Well, I have to first off show up. I have to have topics. I have to know what I'm talking about said topics, or be honest that I don't, and make sure when I talk to a guest that they have the knowledge in it. To share it on social media, I have to have marketing dollars for it. I have to do all this. So when I'm doing this, what up? When I'm doing this, I have to have goals. I have to have a plan of action. I have to go forth. And the funny thing is, and it's something I mentioned to Corey, who's behind the boards, is it's a long time coming. We're getting to the point where I can interview people. This was a long ass process because I've scrapped other projects while we're in the middle of this. There's video that you guys haven't even seen yet that I want to release, and we will release, was like the starting point of this. So it was realizing that I'm doing the work. I don't like where that vision's going. That's not the vision I have overall. We have to change it up. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't smell right. It's not where I want to go. And as we get closer, it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh man, someone sent a heart. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So as we continue to grow and continue to move forward, we have to recognize that. And the one thing I stress to everybody in my life is never let fear stop you from going forward. Don't ignore the fear, right? Some people say, oh, if you fear something, just move it out of your way. Don't face it. Don't just move past it. Fear is there for a reason, right? And it has its place. figure out what you're afraid of, right? Figure out specifically what you're afraid of. If you're planning on doing a podcast, I got you. I'm gonna answer that in a second. If you're doing a podcast, right, there's a natural fear that maybe no one will listen to you, maybe no one will accept you, maybe nobody cares, right? Well, that's a valid fear. Ask yourself, if nobody ever listened to it, if nobody ever watched it, would you still want to do it? If the answer is yes, then it doesn't matter who watches it. It doesn't matter who tunes in. You're just doing it because you want to do something. And then you treat it like a job. And eventually people will tune in. That's the funny thing. You treat it like a job, you show up, you put in the work, and people will tune in. And people will love it, and people will rock with you. They'll rock with you just because they love watching you pour everything into it, right? Yeah, this podcast is an example of it. It's grown and it continues to grow. It's crazy to me. I'm so grateful for it. But I just show up and I'm passionate about it. The topics I talk about, I'm passionate about. The people that I will come on here, I will be passionate about learning from them, right? So that's the fun process of this, is not letting fear stop you from moving forward. Recognize what that fear is, and then ask yourself, do you want that ride anyway? That's how I word it to my fighters. Okay, you're about to go fight. What are you afraid of? I'm afraid of getting knocked out in front of everybody. That's a valid concern, right? Do you still want to fight? Well, yeah. All right. What can you do to lessen the chances of you being knocked out? Well, I can have great defense. Well, you know what you need to work on. Boom. My offense can improve, so I'm landing more shots. Boom. You know what to work on, right? That doesn't mean that fear isn't valid. It just means that you're facing your fears. No different than if you were a little kid and you were afraid of the dark, right? You had to face that fear. Now, and Corey, can you do me a favor?
Yep.
Can you scroll up on TikTok so I can see what some of these people are saying, so I can tune in with that? Okay, what do you do when you can't do nothing, but there's nothing? Wait a minute, what do you mean? What do you do when you can't do nothing, but there's nothing you can do? I don't understand the question, so please explain to me what you mean. Flying is my fear. So sax drums, flying is your fear. Correct, man. I could be wrong, but is flying your fear because you're afraid of you might crash? Like, that makes sense to me. Again, I would say that's a valid concern. The funny thing is, you get in more car accidents than you do airplane crashes. That doesn't mean an airplane crash sounds fun. It doesn't sound fun at all. But there's a higher probability of a car accident. And I'm guessing, if without even meeting you, sax drums, I would even go take it a step further, and say that, oh, I'm gonna get to that, Irish Brian. I like that one. I'm getting to that one. I would say you like control. You like the illusion of control. And the thing is like, the only thing we can control is ourselves. I can't control another car from hitting me, right? If I can't control if I'm gonna die right now, I can't control that. I can do things to make it less likely, right? But I don't know when my time is. And because I don't know when my time is, I can't stress about the things. I shouldn't stress about the things that are out of my control. If I need to fly somewhere, I got to let go and let God, as people say. So I get on that plane. If I was that stressed about it, I tell everybody I love, hey, I love you. Give the people I need to, that I can give people hugs to, and just tell everybody I love them. I touch base when I touch down. And if something happens, something happens. I would even take it a step further. If you're worried about something you may not accomplish before you die, right? Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you working towards it? Like, here's the weird thing with me. If I die tomorrow, I haven't reached all my goals and dreams. With that said, I'm okay that I was pursuing them. My legacy may not be left in the history books, but my kids know how hard I worked. And that's the only legacy I truly care about. My wife knows how hard I worked. So they'll be able to say, this was a hardworking man. This is the man that believed in making his dreams a reality. He wanted to bring his dreams into reality by being in service of others. So my legacy is already written because I'm doing that. I just haven't completed all my dreams yet. I haven't built all my dreams, but pursuing that hopefully will inspire someone else. So I don't need to fear death like that. So how's it going? My fear is dying because I'm getting older. I mean, I just talked about that. The fear of death. Death is once you stop fearing death, it's amazing on the things you can accomplish. Death, here's the cool thing about death. It's the only thing guaranteed to us. When we're born, death is the only next thing that's guaranteed. We're not guaranteed to have kids. We're not guaranteed to get married. We're not guaranteed to have lots of money. We're not guaranteed to be successful. We're not guaranteed any of that. All that stuff we have to put work in, right? And if we want to be great at any of that stuff, we have to do a lot of work towards that. So thank you, Irish Brian. So if we don't put in the work towards that, then we're not going to be great at any of it. I wasn't great at my first marriage. I would say I'm only good at my second marriage. I'm working hard to be great. I've always considered myself a good father. I'm working hard to be great, right? I was a good business owner. I'm closer to great now, but I'm not there yet. I was an okay speaker when I started. I'm a good speaker now as far as motivational speaker. I'm striving to be great at this, right? I'm always been a great human being. Always. I believe that. I was an okay fighter. I'm a pretty good coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of this is guaranteed. Death is guaranteed. So I'm not going to fear it, right? I train, I make sure I get a good sweat in every day so I don't die of a heart attack, especially because I'm a big dude. If the docs tell me that I need to do certain things a certain way, then I listen to that and I do it, right? And I'm working hard to be here for the next 40 to 50 years, but that's not guaranteed. And again, I'm going after everything that I truly want to go after. All my dreams, I'm in the process of building. So I don't need to fear death. If it happens, it happens. When I'm dead, I'm not going to stress, oh, I didn't reach this goal, and oh, I didn't reach this dream, and oh, no, I'm dead. I'm going to care about my loved ones and making sure that they're good, right? So hopefully that makes sense to you, David. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, as far as Irish Brian, you talked about, hey, Corey, can we scroll back up a little bit? I just want to make sure I have it right, please, and thank you. Failure is my fear, but I already know I'm going to fail. Here's the thing. If you already know you're going to fail, then why fear it? And I would change the wordage. Like, I love how Kobe looked at this, Kobe Bryant, because I'm pretty sure everybody looks at it a certain way. It's only failure. Denzel talks about it too. It's only failure if you give up, right? That's it. It's not falling down. It's not messing up. It's not when it doesn't work. It's when you decide you had enough. If you had this dream in your head, right? So if my dream is to reach 3 billion people, right? I'm coming back to you, David. If my goal is to reach 3 billion people, right? And I stop at 500,000 because I don't think I'm going to reach it, I failed. I failed to bring about my dream. I failed to build it. I failed. But now if I hit 500,000 and I make some mistakes and I drop down to 100,000, I didn't fail. I get back up, I figure out what I messed up, and I do it better again. And I work harder. And I might fail at 1 million. I'm sorry, I might mess up at 1 million. Drop me down to 500. Maybe even drops me down to 50,000. I get my ass back up. I dust myself back off, and I get back to work, because my goal, my dream is 3 billion people. And if that is my dream, if that is what I need to reach, then damn it, I'm going to bust my ass every day to reach that number. I don't fail. I don't know how to fail, because I refuse to stop. I get back up and I get back to work. And I might repeat the same mistake again. And I might get frustrated. It's like, damn it, you knew better. Get back up and try it again. Get back up and try it again. Get back up and try it again. Yes, keep moving forward. Exactly, Brian. So if I'm going to keep moving forward, if I'm going to keep getting up, it's not failure. It's learning. I am learning. I am learning how to become better. I'm gaining knowledge. It's not failure. It's failure if I quit. It's only failure if I quit. That's it. Now, when I look at this, I just want to make sure before I speak. Failure is lack of success, the omission of expected or required action, their failure to comply with the basic rules. So if you lack of success, who said you got to be successful tomorrow? Think about that. Who said you got to be successful tomorrow? Ask any woman. Here, let me make y'all laugh. I don't know if there's any ladies in here, but ask, or it doesn't even have to be ladies. Ask your partner. Do you like it? Do you like it when it's only like a minute or two? When y'all having sex, it's just a minute or two. Do they want that all the time? That instant gratification goes right out the fucking window. No, you want to make it last. You want to make it fun. You want to make it better. That's life. Make it last. Make it better. Do more. Lack of success. Like I will never run into lack of success. I just may not be where I want to be right now. In 10 years, I'll be closer. In 20 years, I'll be closer, right? When I hit 3 billion people, when I reach 3 billion people, I'm going to want 4. I'm going to set new goals. I'm going to go after it, because I love that. I love going after something. And as long as I got air in my lungs, I'm going to want to go after something. I believe that's what we are put on this earth to pursue and build our dream in the service of others. It could be a blacksmith. It could be a tailor. It could be a motivational speaker. It could be a coach. It doesn't matter. It could be a doctor, a nurse. It doesn't matter. Build your shit out and forget about fear. Exactly, Irish Brian. He said, in a week, you'll be closer and set new goals and never stop. Exactly. And I'm doing it to help others. Like, I come from such a messed up past. I've learned so much about myself because of the pain I suffered through as a child, that it makes me want to just give knowledge out. And I've made so many mistakes, so I want to give knowledge out. Not so you can bypass your own mistakes, but so you can understand that somebody has gone through some of the things that you might be going through, or some of the things that you fear that you went through. So when I go back, can we scroll back? Someone says something about what's it say? Your bad habits start to catch up with you in your 40s. Of course, I'm 43. Now, if you say I don't look it, kudos, but I got a lot of silver in this beard, so I'm 43. My body's beat to shit. I have a workout protocol I'm supposed to do 3 days a week, but on Tuesday I went so hard with my fighters, I thought I tore my left bicep. My right bicep's already torn off. I thought I tore my left one, and my rotator cuffs are torn. So I thought I was like, ooh, I got to chill. So I didn't get my workout in yesterday. That was my normal day. I talked to my trainer and said, hey, I need to let my body to rest. He said, yeah, cool, understand. I'm going to get it tomorrow because I feel better. I didn't tear my bicep. I just strained it too much. Gave myself 2 days of rest, stretched it out, and now I'm going to train tomorrow, right? And I'll probably put in an extra day over the weekend. The injuries I have is because I destroyed my body at a younger age. Cool, I got to live with that. My foot doesn't work because of a fight injury. I got to live with that. At 43, I wish I could go on really long hikes without it bothering me. I can't. I got to live with that. That's okay. Just because you made bad decisions when you were younger, they do not have to affect you all right now. Today is the day you can make that change. Today is the day that you could choose to do something better with your life. So I don't know how old you are, right? Oh, my son is online. I love that. So who is that said that? If he's still on. David, understand, I don't care if you're 83. If you want to do something different with your life, it starts today. It absolutely starts today. You can make that choice to be better. You can make that choice. I drank a lot and ended up being crippled, but I have made bad choices. Okay. What does crippled look like to you? You can't move your arms, you can't move your legs, you can't walk. You're stuck in bed all day and someone else is typing for you right now. You are talking into a mic and that's how you're communicating. Like, there's different levels of being crippled. But your mind is still functioning because you're talking. So your mind isn't crippled. So if parts of you are crippled, then so be it. My foot doesn't work. I just said that. My shoulders are shot. My body is beat up. Brain injury. Okay. Do you have dreams that you want to still make happen? Make them happen. You can choose to be stuck, right? Regardless of the injuries, you could choose that. I'm not poo-pooing your brain injury. What I am saying is you're able to communicate with me just fine on here, right? So you could be an advocate to try to help younger folks out, not drink so much. You could talk about the downside of drinking too much and what caused the brain injury, right? You could be an advocate. You could talk about this. You can let your life and your choices that were bad, that were quote unquote negative, now turn out to be a positive for somebody else, right? Because I work a little and have a little more money than most consumers. Then what you mean? Turn your negative into a positive, B. Like, it's really that simple. Turn your negative into a positive. I don't know what it is that you do for work, but if you have more money than most consumers, then put that money into use. Like, this is my saying, you control you. It's a hoodie that I sell. It's a hoodie that represents my gym. It's a hoodie that represents who we can be. You control you. So great, you got cleaning jobs. What is your dream? Have you thought about speaking to other people about the choices that you made? I work with young adults all the time. All the time. I have a boxing mentoring program. I have we're doing branding right now and building clothing lines right now with young adults. And the first thing I tell them, like, I broke it down to this kid so hard today. He's like 16, 17. I broke it down. He's got a clothing line. He's got this dope logo. We put it on clothes. And I'm like, look, it's going to cost this much for this. You could turn around, sell it for this. And this is the money you make back. And I broke it down like selling drugs. And I was like, what's it sound like? He was like, selling drugs. I'm like, exactly. But you're selling clothes. You don't got to worry about the police. You just got to worry about when you make 30 to 50K, you got to worry about those 3 letters, IRS. Make sure they're accounted for. That's it. Right? But it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen over time, putting in work, making mistakes, being okay with making those mistakes. So if you want to do something like David, you have a brain injury because you said you drank too much. Now, whether you had a seizure or you got in a car accident or whatever it is, right? You can make that choice to do something positive with your life. How many people can you reach by talking about it? I talk about selling drugs. I talk about gangbang. I've talked about this stuff. I talked about being sexually assaulted and beaten and why I reacted this way and why I did this, right? I talk about it because it's my life. And if somebody else is going through the same shit, I want to be able to help them. Period. When I work with these young adults, it's to show them a different way to make money because nobody showed me that. Like I mentioned it today, I'm like, I mowed the lawn and I shoveled snow And that was the only legal money I made. I stole candy to sell candy. I knew how to sell drugs. I knew how to do other things to make money. But it wasn't until like I got older and could see people that look like me start to sell clothes, sell alcohol, and build their own brands. I was like, oh man, it's possible. It's possible. Dope. Let's get it. So many of these other young adults don't see it. So I got to show them. I made that choice, right? It's definitely turning your negative into a positive. It's definitely, like my son said, you control you, most definitely. So it's building this process. And the only thing that can get in your way is fear. Acknowledge the fear, figure out why it is, right? Why do I fear this? What am I fearing? If I'm successful, why does that scare me? Okay, if I get good grades, I'm gonna have to, that's my standard. Okay, cool. That's your standard. You got to work at it every day. That's gonna build you a better life. I want to build a business. Okay, that's my standard. I got to live that every day. Like, okay, set a new standard. Want more for yourself. Believe that you're worth more. Only fear myself. I understand myself and my power. Fear is the understanding as well as loving. Exactly. Like, I love being afraid of something. Like, I love being afraid because it tells me I'm on the verge of doing something great. When Corey and I first started this podcast, like, well, first I was working with a partner, and then I didn't like the route we were going in. But the first time I did it solo, everything was about my childhood because I wanted people to be comfortable when I start asking them about their childhood to talk about it. And that scared me. I broke down in tears on camera because like it was a lot, but it was the best thing I did. And because of that, a book is coming. Like, we're working on a book. Like, it's crazy how this shit works out. Like, I was scared to come in here. Like, it made me sick because I knew I had to talk about some shit that I've never talked openly about. But on the other side of that fear, facing that fear is greatness. I became stronger because of it. I was no longer controlled by this dark side. I could control it. And it's like, Alex said it perfect. Like, fear is an understanding as well as love and respect. Like, fear is there for a reason, but it's not there to stop you. That's for sure. It's not there to stop you. You got to make a choice. Do I want to go further? Is this fear enough for me not to go? How bad do I want it? Right? If I'm afraid to walk into a dark room, was there something I need in that dark room? Yes. Okay, so I got to walk in it. Plain and simple. And once you become comfortable with death, not that you want to die, but you just realize that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Life gets simpler. It's way easier. So as we keep going, I don't know how many likes we got. The goal is to do one of these and hit 10,000 likes. I'm not going to front. So if you're helping me reach that, I appreciate that. So, man, that's basically the recap of what we talked about on Monday. Now I'm going to go in a slightly different direction, and hopefully I got some anime cartoon nerds with me. So The Last Airbender is crazy. If you don't know who The Last Airbender is, it's a person with these special abilities that can control all the elements. So, or better yet, they can control an element. There are special ones that can control all four. And it made me, and I compare Neo a lot. I talk about Neo with the Matrix, and it just clicked in my brain today. We have the ability to be like the last Airbender, right? So depending on how our life goes, we can sort of go with the flow, like we're able to, like we're water. right? We can adapt to any situation depending on our life. We can flow with it. We could be very grounded and very down to earth and control where we're at. We also have this fire that burns in us, but if you let the fire consume you, it can become super dark. And then we also have the ability of just soaring above everything else and being like air. And to me, once you're able to take all four elements and combine them into one, you essentially become the one. You become like Neo. Like, it's crazy to think about. It might be a stretch, but follow me. If you've seen The Matrix, when Neo first started, he didn't know. He was just like, yeah, I'm just going to do whatever. I'm working a job that I don't like. I'm doing this other thing. I'm just going to flow like water and flow through life like this, right? And then when his eyes got opened, right, this fear sort of took over, this not knowing, this fire burning. He was able to do things that other people couldn't do, but he was still afraid. And that's that fire. He didn't know how to unleash that fire completely, right? And then all of a sudden he became who he's meant. Give me the red pill. Exactly. He started having the ability. He started to believe he was the one. And all of a sudden he was able to fly. And it's crazy when you watch the newest one. I think the newest one showed him coming to earth, like becoming an earthly person, because he had the ability, these other three abilities, but it was when he unlocked that last quality that made him more quote unquote human, the more down to earth person. He unlocked it all. And I think that's what we're all striving for, is to be the one truest version of ourselves, right? We all have that ability. When we decide to listen to our own thoughts and our own brain and not be consumed by everybody else. That's why social media is like, it's a good thing and a bad thing, right? So I have some people that jumped on here that never heard me before, never seen me, and thank me and happy that they tuned in. That's the good side of social media. But the bad side is if you tune into something and you get misinformation and you decide to live your life by that, or you just listen to nonsense and hours go by and you're just consumed by all this nonsense. It's like, ugh. Hey, good afternoon, Kimmy. Thank you for tuning in. So it's like, it's got the good side and bad side. I did this the other day. Don't say a word. Just shut your mouth, close your eyes, and say hello. Don't make a sound though, but say hello. If you hear that voice in your head, that's who you really are. You have to learn how to water that person and then figure out what that person wants to do, right? And so when you figure out what that person wants to do, that's you living your best life. You got to give your voice sound. I can listen to other people talk, right? But I know my beliefs. I know my moral standing. I know my values. I know what I'm trying to accomplish in this world. So if it's not a part of that, I don't have to accept it. I don't have to listen to it. That doesn't mean I won't listen to it necessarily. I love listening to opposing points of views because I never let my beliefs get so stuck in the mud that I can't gain knowledge and grow. I always want to gain knowledge and grow. So if I listen to the other point of view, they might have some dope points. I may not agree with them, but they might have some dope points that I want to add into my own moral standing, my own code. That's great. But I can only do that if I know myself, right? If I know where I want to go. I know what my dreams are. And if you're not in line with my dreams, then it's okay, do you, but I'm not going to put a lot of energy into that relationship because I need all the energy I have for my own family and for my own dreams to accomplish this. Oh, Matt, what up? I remember a drill. Okay, wait a minute. I remember a drill you had to do you had to do at the gym where you would just scream at the wall doing it and not being controlled by fear. Yeah, like it's amazing. When I recognize someone's having trouble letting go and they're afraid of being judged, I'll have them stare at a wall and just scream. And it's amazing to me, or yell. It's amazing to me how many people struggle doing this. They're like, I feel stupid. Why? Why is yelling at a wall make you feel stupid? You're just yelling at a wall. The wall you're not going to hurt the wall's feelings. Well, I don't want to do it in front of everybody. Why? What are you so worried about? What are you so worried about? Why are you so worried about being judged for doing something that's going to make you feel better? And once they yell and they scream it out, and man, it's like their shoulders sit up better. They're a little more confident. They understand that on the other side of that fear was something amazing. You got to listen to your own voice. You got to water your own. You got to water it. You got to put positivity in it. Like, in order to become the one, you have to be positive. You have to believe in yourself. If you want to combine all four elements, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're going to do it. You have to believe that you are this person. That's what's so crazy. You have to believe that the person you see in your head, the person that you're striving to be, is already here. You have to see yourself in that light, because then you'll do everything you can to make it happen over time. It's not tomorrow, but over time, you'll make it happen. Exactly. You are your own limit. Exactly. No, don't put limits on yourself. Dream big, and then put goals into place so you can go achieve them. And it's amazing what you can accomplish when you start doing that. It's amazing what you can do when you really put that work in. But it comes from belief. And people be like, man, I'm just being real, man. I'm just being real, dog. Like, when I fail or when I mess up, man, that's what I focus on. So how do you know if you're winning if you never focus on the wins? Except when you mess up, except when you fall down, get up, brush yourself off. But at the same time, you got to accept the wins. This is why I work so hard not to judge people. Man, it's such a tough thing because it's in our nature, but I don't want to judge people. I try so hard. I work at it, and I don't judge people. And I notice when I do it. And this is why. It's not my place to decide if you won or lost, or if you win or lose, right? We all have our journey. Your learning process might be different from mine. I got to let you learn on your own. I can give you some tips. I can take you to the water. I can't force you to drink it, though. You got to drink it. You'll drink it at your own time. And matter of fact, you may even drink from a different water pond than I took you to. And that's all good, because you'll eventually figure it out. And if you don't, there's nothing I can do about it. And the one thing with entrepreneurs, and the one thing with people that that bring their dreams to reality, is eventually they figure out that, oh man, yeah, I had to count my wins too. I had to be positive about life. I had to be positive about myself. That's when true success came about, when you start looking into the light. And once you do that, you are limitless. It's crazy. You become the one. You become Neo. You become the last Airbender. You become this powerful being that can't get rattled anymore by mundane, meaningless shit. You're now more powerful than you ever have been. And now you could just keep adding knowledge and keep growing and become better and stronger. Man. Questions? I just like asking people if they got questions. What you think, Corey?
All that had to do with me.
I
never celebrate wins.
Ooh. One punch, one round at a time, Creed. I mean, yeah. Those Creed and Rocky movies, that sums up life. They're a bit dramatic, but it sums up life. It sums up life pretty well. You got to just keep getting up, keep fighting, show that dog in you. And like Corey said, like Corey just admitted, like he doesn't always celebrate his wins. I know for a very long time I didn't celebrate wins. I let the losses drive me instead of letting the losses teach me. I learn quicker now when I make a mistake. I'm quicker to forgive myself, and I'm quicker to forgive others. To me, that's a full circle of life. I love that. Your mind is your limit. No, kid, no, your mind is not your limit. Your mind is not your limit. Listen very clearly, Isaiah. Your mind is limitless because you can picture anything, and you can eventually make it a reality. If I could picture a chip that can control 20 computers at once and do whatever it is that I want them to do, I could do that. If I could picture building an Iron Man suit, I could do that. You can do whatever you put your mind to if you're willing to work and have discipline to create it. Our mind is limitless. We have no limits. None. None. Death is the only thing that is coming our way. When we no longer fear death, we can accomplish anything. Because death is coming. I don't need to fear it. It's a part of life. It's part of the cycle. When I die, hopefully I've taught people stuff. I knew that. If you knew it, then you shouldn't have said it, kid. That's my son. So, like, this is how I talk to my kids, though. I teach my kids the same way. So when I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to you from the heart. I'm speaking to you from the understanding of what you can accomplish. And so, yeah, be positive about yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can accomplish whatever and work hard. And then understand everything isn't meant for you. That's, you know what? There we go. Okay, dope question. How do you take the breaks when you're on that path? What do you mean breaks? Why do you got to take a break? Just because I'm not working on, tomorrow I may not be working on anything for the podcast, but that doesn't mean I'm taking a break from it. Right? I'm just not working on it right now. I have other things to work on. I have a schedule. See how that works? So my life is pretty scheduled right now. I have times where I'm doing social media. I have times where I'm working on my book. I have times where I'm working on my journal. I have times where I'm working on my worksheets for people to fill out. I have times where I'm working on coaching strategies. I have time where I'm working on curriculum. I have time when I'm working on podcasts. I have time when I'm working on family. When I'm hanging out. So schedule and time management on each task. Hell yeah, that makes life way easier. I used to be the person that said, no, I don't need to schedule shit. I know I got to do this and I got to do this and I got to do this. Shit's way better now. Because I finally decided I wanted to be more disciplined. Like, let me see. I don't know if the camera will pick this up. Let me see here. Oh, it's got a glare, but maybe.
Yeah, you can still see the text and stuff of it.
This is my schedule, yo. It stops at 9:30 when I go to bed. Like, it doesn't stop. And I didn't even add in. So I woke on Tuesday, I actually woke up at 3:45. I do the dishes, make coffee. I walk the dog. I take a shower. I leave for the gym. I teach class. I lift. But before I teach class now, I got a private lesson. It was only a couple times in the morning. I lift. I work on curriculum. But now my curriculum is changed. Like I moved the curriculum because I'm doing a mentoring program for the next 4 weeks. Then I do my boxing program with the mentoring program. I work on my book. Then I leave for the gym again. And then I do privates or prepare for class. I also have a nonprofit meeting that I don't always make. Striking, and then I have my striking class. Then I head home at a certain time. I read at a certain time. I stretch at a certain time. I go to bed at a certain time. It makes my life way easier. Way easier. Because everything is structured. And just having the discipline to stick with it makes life way easier. I'm not taking a break from something. I'm just working on something different, right? And I have lunch. I answer that question at home, kid. It's about my life there. That's the best way to say it without going into details. What I also put in here is from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock is lunch, meditation, and me time. So anything I want to do in there. If I want to play a game of COD, I can play a game of COD at that time. If I just want to sit and kick my feet up, that's the time I do it in. If I want to work on something else, I can do that, right? That's 2 hours of me time. Plus I'm eating lunch, plus some meditation. That's important. That's important so I can attack the rest of my day. Most of the time, if I'm at home, I take another shower and I treat it like a day is about to start over. It's beautiful. So I don't take breaks, man. I just keep working on something else. Even if it's working on something else, is making my family better by hanging out and playing games, hanging out and tossing a football around, hanging out and having lunch or breakfast with my kids. Like, it's really simple. I just do everything I want to do. And I don't expect everything to happen overnight. I just set a standard of working. Hell yeah. Okay, that's what I'm lacking because everyone's, I know, look at me after a 16-hour shift and still going. Yeah, so if you do a 16-hour shift at work, I mean, that sucks because you basically need that 6 to 8 hours of sleep. That's your whole day right there. So I would ask you, what is it that you want to do that can one day free up time in your life so you're not working a 16-hour shift? Unless you love your job. If you love what you do, then that 16 hours is well spent. I don't know when you're getting family time in, but it is what it is. That's the life you got. So you might have to schedule other days and have days off where it's family orientated. So, but you got to do what you got to do. But if you don't love your job, I would challenge you to start building something that you do love and get to it. So, yeah, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I don't know how many likes I got on this one. I can't see. So I appreciate all of you following. Hopefully YouTube and Facebook people are tuning in. It's like a new process that we're doing. TikTok has always held me down, so I appreciate y'all. I've never got a teddy bear before. So Irish Brian, I appreciate that. I don't know what that is, but I appreciate it very much. And it's been fun, man. I'll be back on Monday, possibly Monday. If I'm not in the studio, I'll be filming from my office at home. So I'll be on for sure on Monday. More than likely it'll be around somewhere between 12:30 and 1:30. I'm sorry I can't give you a more definitive time. It's just while I'm doing this mentoring program for the next few weeks, my schedule is kind of a little shaky. And then Thursday I'll be able to tune in, and I might even tune in on Friday. So I'm gonna ask my doc, or not next Friday. I'm having knee surgery. I'm having my 3rd knee surgery. So I'm gonna see if I can set something up with a live feed, either before or after or something. So, or during. Be cool if I could do during. That'd be dope. But I doubt they let me do that. But yeah, man, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. Appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. And inbox me messages, man. Like, I'm down to talk about whatever. So inbox me. I know I want to talk about relationships. That's coming on the horizon. I want to have some talks about books, some books that I enjoy. And then we're going to start interviewing people. So that should make for a dope conversation. So yeah, just inbox me with messages. Let me know what's up. And thank y'all so much, man. I appreciate y'all so much. Have a blessed day. Deuces.